Storyteller breaks down Ascendance of a Bookworm Chapter 6, where Myne confronts pork processing day trauma and discovers the joy of writing. A vast, sprawling city stretches out, hinting at a bustling, perhaps lower-class district. A large wooden wheel heavily impacts the ground, making a repetitive ga-ga sound. A group of people gather around a cart on a city street. As one individual begins, "This is sudden," but Myne with closed eyes thinks, "I am currently being carried off in a cart." Inside a cart, a child asks, "Where are we headed?" As another calls out, "Hey, Mom." A character explains, "To a farming village nearby. We're going to borrow a character questions, "There's no shed in town to smoke meat, right?" Another adds, "Smoke meat," with a surprised expression. A character seated on a barrel recalls, "Oh yeah, we bought a bunch of meat at the marketplace last time, and we prepared them by boiling and pickling." A character reacts with surprise and confusion, asserting, "What are you talking about? That's different." A character reacts with surprise and confusion to the statement, "Today's pork processing day," asking, as someone explains, "It's the day we take the pig we'll buy in the farming village, cut it apart, pickle or smoke the meat, and make things like potted meat and sausages." Myne recoils in horror, shouting, "Pork processing day. What's that?" She stutters, "PPP." Myne exclaims, "There's a day for that." As another character calmly reminds her, "You went last year." Myne wishes, "If possible, I want to get a fever this year too," prompting another character to recall, "Ah, that's right. Mom, Myne had a fever and was passed out on the cart." A character expresses doubt to Myne, "There's no way that'll be enough now, will it?" A character explains, "Even with everyone processing meat, we still need to buy more." Myne sits dejectedly thinking, "But we bought meat last time." Myne reflects that unlike Japan, there are no supermarkets here, and while she understands the need for preparation, it's still a lot to take in. Myne observes a large quantity of meat being processed, as another character reflects, "I thought we bought a bunch. I guess it's not close to enough, though." Myne walks down a city street, asking, "And considering the firewood from before, is the winter here so bad that you can't even set foot outside?" An unknown character enthusiastically tells Myne, who is in a boat, "While you're helping, you can taste samples, and we'll have freshly made sausages for dinner." Myne thoughtfully replies, "There's a lot to look forward." An unknown character joyfully states, "It's kind of like a mini festival with everyone in the neighborhood working together." And Myne chuckles, "Hee hee." Myne sits dejectedly, hugging her knees, sighing, "Aw, neighbors, huh." Two characters discuss hazy memories of Myne, noting there will probably be many unfamiliar faces. A child in a cart says, "I don't want to go," surprising an adult who asks, "What are you saying?" Myne, hunched over and clutching her head, thinks, "And to think we're taking a pig apart today on top of all that." Myne, hunched over and clutching her head, thinks, "And to think we're taking a pig apart today on top of all that." Myne rubs her forehead, appearing fatigued and overwhelmed as a faint chica sound is heard. Myne rides in a cart, observing the peaceful rural landscape passing by. Myne expresses her awe with a loud, "Wow," as she observes the expansive rural landscape from a... Myne expresses profound joy and relief at being in a new, open environment, exclaiming, "It's completely different from the town inside the walls. The air feels so good." A static scene shows rural farmland, with a large hay pile and distant dense forests. An expansive view of a serene rural landscape, with tall grasses and a distant tree line, is shown. A male character warns Myne, "Myne, you'll bite your tongue if you don't keep your mouth closed." And Myne reacts with a surprised, "Eh." A large object makes a sudden, impactful GAKUN sound. Myne is violently jolted forward in a cart, shouting, "Wah, whoa, whoa," as the cart rattles, making GARATA sound. Myne endures a bumpy cart ride, lamenting, "If it's clear, it's bumpy and rattly. If it rains, it's messy and sticky. This road's the worst." Myne's internal narration reveals, "There's something called asphalt," as characters walk along a bumpy, unpaved road. Villagers are busy with communal activities, carrying goods and cooking outdoors in a rustic settlement. A male character urgently shouts, "This is bad, they're starting already. EIFA TURI hurry GO." And a female character cries, "Oh." Two female characters, Ifa and Tiri, run away from a perceived threat, with Ifa shouting, "TURI, let us run," and Tiri responding, "Okay." Myne reacts with a surprised, "Eh," as she sits in a cart looking towards an Myne, with wide-eyed shock, realizes, "I got left behind." Myne rests guarding the cart, and when asked if it's an important job, she sleepily affirms, "Yup, very important." People gather around a communal stove, engaged in cooking and food preparation, as one character observes thoughtfully. An unknown character observes a young person with pink hair walking through a busy indoor area, saying, "Ah, it's Faye." Pink. Myne, deep in thought, wonders. Then I wonder if Lutz and the others are in that area too. Myne covers her ears, startled by a loud squeal. Myne forcefully grips and struggles with a large pig's snout as the pig lets out distressed oink sounds. An unseen character questions, "Huh, don't tell me." Multiple individuals forcefully restrain a large, struggling pig, making oink and wah sounds. A male character lunges forward with a spear, shouting, "Here I go." A male character forcefully drives a spear-like tool into a large pig, making a HIII sound. A loud boom. The sound effect indicates a forceful impact. A male character forcefully swings a pickaxe-like tool downwards, making a loud CLANH sound. A male character runs forward with a pickaxe-like tool. A female character reacts with extreme shock and discomfort, stuttering, "W-wait a." Myne reacts with extreme fear and disgust, shrinking into a chiba-like form and shrieking, "Eek, wah." Multiple individuals prepare a large pig for butchering, with one kneeling to work on its hindquarters, and another holding its mid. A bloodied spear is cleaned in a bowl, splashing with a splash sound. A large skinned pig is hoisted and hung upside down from a wooden frame, making a gia sound. Myne clutches her stomach, grimacing in severe nausea and disgust, uttering a weak, Myne recoils in fear and disgust, uttering a weak, while two other characters comment, "He did it so well, it's scary." Myne reacts with extreme disgust, clutching her stomach and crying out, "AH?" She whispers, "Can't." A sharp, sudden patcha-patcha sound is heard, possibly indicating a break or impact. Myne lies on the ground, disoriented, thinking, "Did I pass out again?" Myne lies down, contemplating, "I'm not outside." Myne slowly regains consciousness, thinking, "Where am I?" As she sits up in a simple room, Myne's hand is shown resting on a wooden surface, with a subtle zuru sound as she regains consciousness. Myne collapses onto the floor, crying out, "WAH?" in distress. Myne lies on the floor, grimacing in pain, whimpering, "Ouch." Myne attempts to tie her hair into a ponytail, making a soft caillou sound. Myne's internal monologue states, "Nothing's going right today." As she sits in a dimly, Otto greets the unseen Myne, saying, "Oh, looks like you've come to," and adds a casual, "Yo." Myne wonders if this is a waiting room at the gate. Otto reacts with pleasure to Myne's recognition, saying, "So you remember me, I'm glad, ha." Myne gently taps Otto's arm, reassuring him, "I wouldn't forget you." Otto laughs softly, "Ha-ha," in response to Myne's reassurance. Myne, still unconscious, is gently transferred from one concerned character to another who explains, "He said you collapsed in the cart." A character lightheartedly tells Myne, "Leader brought you here all flushed." Myne reacts with extreme distress, exclaiming, "Ah." As someone informs her, he said he'd come pick you up as soon as they finished their work. Myne thinks, "It makes me sick just remembering it. I feel like I'm going to see it in my—" Myne sits looking down and thinks, taking the pig apart then processing it. Sounds like it'll take a while. A male character kneels to speak with Myne, asking, "What's wrong, Myne-chan? Are you lonely without your mom or dad here?" A male character reflects, "No, I was wondering what I should do to kill time." A male character kneels beside a table, affirming, "Right, this is perfect." A female character observes. A male character listens, showing mild surprise as someone comments, "Oh yeah, he did say you weren't as childish as you look." Myne looks up with wide eyes and a questioning expression, saying, as an unknown hand is visible in the foreground. A male character walks through a room, carrying books. Myne looks up with curiosity, asking, "I wonder if you can kill time with this." Hands hold up a slate, prompting an excited, "Wow, a slate." Myne enthusiastically runs with open arms, shouting, "Thank you very much." As an unseen character says, "I knew you would definitely pass through the gate today, so I—" Otto humbly smiles as someone praises him. "You're so great, Otto," he replies. "Hold on a second." The narration describes him as civilized, considerate, and Otto intently writes at a small table, while Myne observes him with curiosity. A hand writes tally marks on a slate with a chalk-like implement, making gatsu sounds. A hand presents a slate with writing, saying, "Hear your name." An unknown character instructs Myne, "I have to stand at the gate, so you stay here and practice." Myne practices writing on a slate, while the unknown character walks away. Myne holds a slate, looking surprised and curious with a slight blush on her cheeks. A hand points to the word Myne written on a slate. Myne reacts with a mix of awe and nervousness, exclaiming, "Wow, I'm so nervous." Myne's internal thought expresses, "I'm so nervous." Myne sits on a chair, curiously observing something above and to her left. A hand precisely uses a sharp tool to engrave or cut into a flat surface, making a kari sound. A hand writes on a dark slate with a stylus, making a scratch sound. Myne holds up a slate with unfamiliar characters, observing, "Letters, Letters. Myne expresses profound happiness, clutching a slate with closed eyes, saying, "Oh, I'm so happy." Myne holds a slate, reflecting, "I didn't think it would make me so happy to be able to read and write letters." An unseen character declares, "Oh, I'm so happy." A hand writes Japanese characters on a blackboard with chalk, then erases them with a claw. Myne gazes at a book with immense joy, clutching it to her chest, exclaiming, "So fun." Myne, focused, leans over a table, making repetitive, kari 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 sounds as she works. A large, fortified building stands under a clear sky as a deep, resonating, go-on sound echoes. An unknown character enters a room, saying, "Sorry for the wait, Myne. The leader and your family are." Myne suddenly collapses face down onto a table, making Gyuda and Bata sounds, while two male characters react in shock and concern, shouting, "Myne, don't tell me it's a fever." Myne weakly calls Ellie. An unknown character firmly tells Myne, "You can't go outside. Your fever hasn't gone down yet, so stay in bed." Myne quietly agrees, "All right." A distant shout of Myne is. Myne lies in bed, sighing, "Ha, to think I got a fever even though I was next to the fireplace." As an unknown character offers, "I brought you some soup." Myne, holding a tray, expresses weariness. "I'm not even done with winter preparations." Tiri scolds her, "You should be." Myne offers a resigned, "Sorry." An unknown character sits, reflecting. "Well, you didn't promise, but it's a promise, okay?" Tiri pleads, promise me you won't say that anymore." Myne defensively shouts, "He never promised that before." A close-up shows a bowl of pickled vegetables or fruits, with a wooden spoon on a wooden surface. Myne sits in bed, eating soup, and thinks, "The soup only has a slightly salty taste, but the winers really are good." A close-up shows a bowl of pickled vegetables or fruits, with a wooden spoon on a wooden surface. Myne sits, sighing, "Phew," with a slight blush, appearing pensive. Myne lies down, looking at or holding a slate with text on it. An empty bowl and spoon sit on a wooden surface, and an unseen character states, "That was good." A character with closed eyes and a wide, gentle smile reflects, "It makes me this happy to be able to write letters, so I think I'll be even happier if I can read a book." A slate with writing and a piece of chalk is displayed as the narration states, "I have to hurry up and get better and make paper." That wraps up our Chapter 6 recap. What did you think of Myne's reaction to the pig processing? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this narration, please like and subscribe to Storyteller for more Ascendance of a Bookworm content.